Or just
It's
go to
never going
Russia.
to materialize.
And that's actually an interesting comment that you made, because our next story is about the laws that they've been passing in Uganda about where, homosexuals can go to prison for life, and how this whole movement was influenced by American evangelicals that were traveling over there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we'll start that.
Uganda is apparently pushing ahead with its tough new anti-gay law. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has announced he will sign the bill to stop anyone promoting homosexuality after expressing some initial reluctance. The bill was introduced in 2009, but put aside most recently by the president himself. Now, he says, a report by medical experts has encouraged him to sign the legislation. The study he commissioned says sexual orientation is a learned behavior. We're being told not something people are born with. Museveni
I'm glad that the Ugandan scientists were finally able to get to the bottom of that one.
With magnets.
With magnets.
Yeah, they did that with magnets. He proved with fucking magnets that
Really?
homosexuality wasn't natural because opposites repel each other, or
Oh,
opposites
okay.
attract.
All right.
But he proved it with fucking magnets, man. It was so hilarious.
Look, you too positive magnet. They repel. They repel.
Now they're Mexican. This no work, man.
I don't know. I don't know what
can't build
Ugandans
you-
sound like, so I just
I can't
defaulted
build
to
your
Mexican.
Fence, man.
I usually default to Indian.
I am sorry, sir.
I'm sorry.
I can't do Indian, though.
If you're gay, we shall kill you.
Oh, you must die, sir. I'm very sorry. Have a nice day.
No, ain't no sex for
to
you.
supporters.
But they are now saying that there is no evidence to show that their abnormal behavior, but human says these are normal people with abnormal behavior.
In Uganda, many people support the law, but activists fear it. Kasha Namagasera joins us now on the line from Kampala. She is the founder of Freedom and Roam Uganda, a lesbian, bisexual, and transgender organization. Thanks so much for being with us. The president was initially reluctant to sign this legislation. Now he says he will sign it. Did he change his mind, or did the political climate in Uganda change?
No, I think the president has just been playing a very tough role, or a tough game with all of us.
All right. Well, she's I'm having trouble hearing her. She's on like a shitty phone from Uganda. But basically, the president says the president of Uganda said that these are normal people just with abnormal behavior. I don't really know specifically.
Learned behavior.
Yeah.
They learned it from the magnets.
Okay, well, we're assuming most people in Uganda are not gay, so it's a learned behavior, but how are they learning it when no one really is supposed to be engaging in there and no one supposedly wants it there? It's just magically occurring?
I think it's pretty outrageous to say that it's a learned behavior because, like, most straight men are not going to be, like, open to, like, hey, how about some dick?
You went to a gay bar, now you're a homosexual. You saw those guys kissing.
It's like, oh, man, dick sound pretty good, actually. I don't know. Never been interested in it before, but now that I see it in this new light, I don't think so. it doesn't strike me as an authentic situation.
It could happen. Come on, man.
Sure. I mean, anything could happen, but I mean, like, I don't think that's really like a widespread problem. Is like people being recruited into being gay.
You ever like walked around and accidentally stared at a dude's crotch and then just wanted it all of a sudden so bad? That never happened to you?
Well, I'm not straight, so it doesn't make any sense in my case. But
It's happened to him.
He's like,
Okay,
you're asking the wrong person.
I rest my case.
You learned it, TJ. Now you a homosexual. You're going straight to hell.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I blame the internet.
The internet and the
That's
loose
where you
morals.
The fucking internets with that giant cocks everywhere.
And legalizing gay marriage and the polar vortex. Those are all to blame.
Yeah, well, the gay marriage is to blame for the polar vortex.
Yes. Yeah. Says what's her name? I already forgot her name. Anyway, yeah. So here's a little more of the president of Uganda talking some crazy shit.
Let's hear it.
Many in the international community are saying that by your signing of this bill, you're taking Uganda a step backwards, that you are not protecting the freedoms and the rights and the choices of the Ugandan people. So how do you respond to that? And specifically, President Obama has said he was deeply disappointed by Uganda's move and says that it would complicate U.S.-Uganda relations. I've listened to everything that you've said in the statement, so how would you respond to that? And does it worry you, and have you spoken directly to President Obama about this?
Well, we have been disappointed for a long time by the conduct of the West. The way you conduct yourself.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to fucking Uganda be like, we are disappointed with your conduct. It's
Yeah.
Like, no, wait, hold on. You're fucking Uganda. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, someone solved the mystery in the comments. Blame Canada.
Fucking Canada.
If we just blame Canada for all of our problems,
I hate Canada.
We'll be good.
Honestly, we ought to blame the southern United States. I mean, the southern evangelicals around here should be fucking ashamed of themselves. They are responsible for exporting this disease over to Uganda, and people are being, tortured and killed because of it. Fucking motherfuckers are being killed because of these stupid-ass Christians in the South. And we need as many of you Christians that want to be proud of being Christians. You need to stand up and speak against this.
They found new fertile ground to plant the seeds of their stupidity where, I mean,
where there's no education. That's
yeah,
what they always.
Basically, I mean, it's the same thing the Catholics did in Africa and Mexico. They went to Africa and they told all these people that were dying of AIDS that condoms are evil, and they go to Mexico and they fucking. That's why the Catholic Church actually has a pretty progressive stance on immigration, is because they want all the Catholic Mexicans to come pouring into America, so that they have a new power base in this country.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like once a civilization becomes a little bit too advanced and savvy for them to hoodwink, they go find some other civilization that's still not reached that point in development, and they say, oh, well, we'll just influence this.
Always under the auspices of, like, we're going to help them. But, of course, they export their religion more than anything else.
Well, that's exactly what they do.
It's not even just... But I mean, it's not even really like a religion. I mean, it to them, it's like a way of life. It's a political... I mean,
for sure.
Their religion is really a political philosophy, a lifestyle, and the religious element... that's something that...
Well, that's what ties it all together. It's like,
that's like the umbrella that they're holding over the whole fucking thing.
It's an all-encompassing cult.
Yeah, I mean, and they're basically trying to take other countries and like, well, we're not going to win the battle for America's heart and soul, but maybe we can fucking get a foot in early in Uganda. And then you have this president on there condemning the West and our behavior, but meanwhile, this whole thing has been engineered by people from the West. So, I mean, he can't really act like he's rejecting Western values, because really what he's embracing is the most ignorant part of Western values, which is, the Southern Baptist fundamentalist Christian portion of the country.
Yeah. Here's another clip of the president of Uganda saying how he feels about gay people.
What is your message to Western human rights groups, to President Obama,
Respect,
to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people?
Respect African societies and their values. If you don't agree, you just keep quiet. Let's manage our society.
Wait,
we see.
This is a new law. This is a new law being proposed. So how can he possibly say that it's their values? And also, wasn't he just saying a minute ago he was disappointed with our values? So what is this? This is a one-way. This is a one-way street where they can be disappointed in our values, but we're not allowed to say anything about theirs. I mean, what the fuck is he talking about?
They're Uganda. They're the gold standard. You don't fucking talk about Uganda, motherfucker.
Just keep quiet. Let's manage our society the way we see. If we are wrong, we shall find out by ourselves. Just the way we don't interfere with yours.
Do you personally dislike homosexuals?
Of course, they are disgusting. What sort of people are they? How can you go? I never knew what they were doing. That's how I've been told recently that what they do is terrible, disgusting. But I was ready to...
I like how he's acting all coy, like he has no idea.
I have no idea. I heard from a friend that...
I hear once that they do things... It's disgusting what they do. It's like, what? I think you know what they're up to. Why are you acting like you're like in the dark or
Like it's,
some?
like it's a big secret. Like no one knows what homosexuals do.
Whoa!
Ooh.
What are they doing? Oh my God! That one was putting his penis in the one. Oh my God! It's disgusting.
They put it where?
That affects my life so much.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
If there was proof that's how he's born, abnormal. But now the proof is not there.
Yeah, so he was saying he was willing to ignore the butt sex if it could be proven that they were born that way. But now that there's, irrefutable evidence that
two magnets.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck? If it wasn't
the born, yeah, looking even beyond that, the born that way versus not. I mean, that doesn't even. What does that even have to do with anything?
Yeah.
He wasn't born a fucking Christian.
Yeah, fuck you. Even if I did make a choice, I made a goddamn choice. That's my right as a goddamn human being to make a choice. So that you fucking charging me with a thought crime over it.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Two magnet. No.
Have you, Dusty? But have you seen the magnets?
Yeah.
Fucking magnets. How do they work,
It was
Dusty?
very persuasive. Okay,
How do they work?
You haven't been there, Dusty. You haven't been there.
I'm
You
sorry. I
weren't
still got to
there.
go with my gay brothers and sisters on this one.
You haven't been there, Dusty. You don't know. You don't even know where the fuck you are.
Yeah, none of us have been to Uganda and see what's happened there. I mean, after Idi Amin, I mean, maybe this is this is like the way forward for them. They'll ban homosexuality, then suddenly their country will become like the leading country in the world. They've just rooted this huge problem out.
All they had to get rid of was the scourge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
All of our social ills have been fixed.
Yeah, so I had a little bit more when they were talking about the film. The guy was going there just to do a documentary about the anti-gay laws in Uganda, and while he was there, he was the one that kind of found out that, the Christian right were behind it. And
The American Christian right.
Yes, the American Christian right.
Yeah.
Here's a troubling thought. While President Museveni accuses the United States of trying to import social imperialism into Uganda by defending homosexual rights, who do you think is behind some of the anti-gay hysteria in Uganda right now? A group of evangelical Christians from that very same hotbed of social imperialism, the United States of America. My next guest, Roger Ross Williams, belonged to the organization called International House of Prayer in Missouri, whose missionary zeal fell on gays in Uganda.
Didn't you used to work at the International House of Prayer, TJ? Did you tell someone to fuck off there?
Yeah, I used to work there.
TJ briefly worked at IHOP for what, about 3 days? 2 days?
2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days.
Oh.
In Alabama.
But that was pancakes, not prayer.
Well, they're both the same. Okay. I mean, well, pancakes
exist.
Pancakes, yeah, they're well, prayer exists too. It's just not
prayer
effective.
exists. It just doesn't do anything.
TJ doesn't want to tell us the truth. He was caught having sex with a stack of pancakes. That's why he was fired.
He was like, "Here are your fucking pancakes."
Fuck
he
pan every
decided to make
day.
a film about what he learned, and he called it God Loves Uganda. It ended up being a terrifying look at incitement to hatred.
In Uganda, they say they are ready to fight those who are ready to kill, those who are doing homosexual. Hands up!
So there's just like crowds of people like raising their hands, saying that they're willing to kill people if they're gay. So there's like
finally
angry mobs and shit, and activists getting killed, and
good
shit like that. And
I'm glad.
Here's the guy that made
Roger
the film.
Ross Williams joins me from Albany right now. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the program today. Tell me how you came to make this film and how you discovered what you have done.
Yes, yeah. Well, I was, my last film took place in Zimbabwe, and I noticed the hold of sort of type of evangelical Christianity on the continent, sub-Saharan Africa. So I started reading about Uganda and what was going on there, and I just did a research trip, went there, met David Kato, who's the activist in my film, who was brutally murdered, and he said the story that hadn't been told is the story of the sort of damage that fundamentalist evangelicals from America were doing in his country. So that sort of started me on my journey.
What did you know about...
Anything?
I mean,
Man, I'm glad we're talking about this. I hope this gets a lot of fucking press, as it really should. The world needs to know what the fuck these guys are doing. They're basically sowing and spreading terrorism.
Yeah, I mean, like
in the worst way.
And,
Christianity can't do that.
you know, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I mean, if people in other countries were spreading this level of like socially malignant bullshit
and it was for
in
Islam.
America, yeah, like if there was a bunch of like Muslims and coming to America and influencing our politics in that way, and people were dying.
We'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way. You know what the fuck we do.
Angry mobs of people running around killing people.
Yeah, I mean,
we'd be dropping our bomb on $10 tents.
but when we have a bunch of radicals going to other people's countries and causing this sort of strife, we're just like, well, that's their right. They can do what they can do. It's gonna be
freedom
okay.
of religion.
About the International House of Prayer, how did you see that sort of build there?
You know, well, I started when I heard about Lou Engle from the International House of Prayer in Kansas City going to Uganda, and you know, sort of when all these sort of American evangelicals were running away from Uganda for PR reasons, he went to Uganda and threw a huge prayer rally called The Call, which that led me to Kansas City, and I sort of started following members from the International House of Prayer, and I followed a group of them to Uganda.
And I know it's all in your film, but for those of us or people who haven't seen the whole film, describe how it worked. How did they sort of gen up this anti-gay hysteria? How did an evangelical from the United States get to spend hours talking to Parliament in Uganda?
Well, someone who is very extreme, like Scott Lively, who is an extremist in America, but when he goes to Uganda, he gets taken seriously because of what he represents. He's an American evangelical, and what America represents in a place like Uganda represents power and wealth. And so he goes to Uganda, and he can command the president, he can command the parliament for 5 hours. He did a 3-day conference where he told everyone about the threat of homosexuality, that they were there to recruit their children.
So this guy gets FaceTime.
Basically, like some guy that like in America doesn't amount to fucking shit can go over to Uganda and be like the fucking, hey, I'm the biggest
like
hotshot there is,
or something.
He's a fucking con man. That's exactly what he is, a con man.
Isn't this interesting too? It's like, you know, like, do you remember when Rick Perry did the prayer rally?
Oh my God!
And this guy's doing the same thing, but it's interesting. Like, I just pulled this up on Google, Matthew 6:5, about how you're not supposed to go and do that. Like, look at those Jewish people at the synagogues. Like, that's bad. They're trying to pray in public. You don't need a reward. You need to go to some inner room in your house and be closer to God. So these people are such hypocrites. They're going, oh, we believe in the Bible. We believe it's right, and then they don't even listen to the Bible.
Yeah,
it's just interesting. They can't even keep their shit straight.
Yeah, well, that's for their Christians because they didn't read the Bible. That's the vast majority of them have never read the damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So now that was a pretty serious story. You know what's going on there is pretty crazy. It's a violation of human rights. So now we're gonna move on to something that we can at least laugh at. And
man, I don't know about y'all, but I don't give a fuck what happens to them damn faggots.
They foreigners. If a foreigner died, it don't matter anyways.
I mean, he's a faggot. That's one strike against him. He's foreign. That's another strike.
He's black.
And he's black. Yeah, he's black. So that's 3 strikes. You fucking out. As far as I'm goddamn concerned.
Now we're
the original Constitution that was written by God Himself said they were 3/5 a human being.